Hello everyone and welcome back to Let's Play Shinobi Legions. In the last part we got through a few more stages and now we're at Endgame. In the final stage of the game, easily the worst stage of the game. Thing is with this stage, it's pretty simple. It's a single hallway with some divots above and below the stage. With that said, you may have noticed a giant goddamn missile that just went above our heads. Those show up whenever you're about to get to a divot that's either below or above the main hallway, and you need to duck into either one of those in order to dodge it. And this isn't like, say, Heat Genblum's laser from Mega Man 04, where if you just dodge the laser, you just don't take some damage. If you touch that missile, it explodes, and you're dead. It is a one-shot. Additionally, if you're a bit too slow on getting into the hole, you can get crushed by the missile, meaning you are dead. My general advice this entire franchise so far has been take your time and you'll generally be fine. This stage spits in the face of that. This stage, you need to rush to have any semblance of safety, and it's awful. This is the worst stage in the game. I feel it goes completely against the way the game is meant to be played. Is bad. By and large, it is simple, yes. But there's also eventually going to be platforms you need to jump on up to 2 times in order to have them sink down to stop the missiles from spawning infinitely in certain sections. And it's rough. This stage just simply sucks. Now, going back to the manual one last time, there were 2 stages I didn't manage to read the bios of last time, and those are these last 2 stages. Stage 8 was the Rocky Mountains. In this stage, you'll need to move through the Rocky Mountain with its drastic ups and downs. Special jumping skills such as triangular jumps for climbing sharp cliffs and jumping from point to point on jagged rocks are essential for this level. Beware of falling rocks. And the boss was KM99. He is the secret weapon Cosmo's organization invented in order to conquer the world. In addition to having extraordinary powers, he also attacks with lasers and hammers. He has a hammer attack? What? I don't think I've ever seen that one. And finally, stage 9 here is the Missile Transport Road. Advance by dodging enormous missiles which are transported one after another by jumping inside repair ditches. Beyond this level is Cosmo, who, guess what, that is the final boss. In addition to his Nindo skills, he absorbs power from his opponents every time he fights. He is indeed the most powerful, using Bujutsu and other fighting skills. Quote unquote. Honestly, that doesn't feel it's very relevant to the fight, but oh well. Thankfully, if you're at a point in the stage where the missiles still technically spawn infinitely, if you run backwards to the last repair ditch, usually they'll stop spawning once you get past a certain point. I feel the stage could have been a lot better if they did what eventually Blaster Master Zero would do in a section like this, or as the aforementioned Mega Man 04 would do in Heat Genblum stage, where not only there was a visual warning for the missiles coming out, but the missiles actively were timed to show up like every 10 seconds, and there was an alarm alerting you to the fact that it was about to happen, because then it feels like you'd be able to progress at a better pace than this uneven mess of stage. This is a sour way to end off the game, by and large. It's real sad, because honestly, by and large, this is one of the better Shinobi games. With modern context, at least. I think Shinobi 3, this, Revenge of the Shinobi, Game Gear Shinobi 2, and Shadow Dancer Genesis are easily ones I feel anyone could play, but this just takes down the game almost a solid 1.5 numbers-wise.
Oh yeah. しっかりしろ。ここはもう危ない。立てるか。
今こそ最終奥義をクズマの暴走を止めて
finger smells.
何かが目覚めたような。やっと来たか、ショー。ここまで来たことは褒めて、だが少し遅かったようだ。無限の力はすでに俺のものとなった。まさか綾を使って無理やりに。もうその女も用なしだ。どうだ、ショー。俺と手を組む気はないか。共に支配者となれば欲しいものは何でも手に入る。貴様。お前の力では俺には勝てん。試してみるか。愚かな。おい。
No, it's weird looking at those cutscenes because it makes me realize the actual visual quality of those FMVs is actually really good. It's just that they're on potato quality rendering because Sega Saturn. Either way, final boss against Kazuma's a little bit different than every boss thus far. His technically has infinite health. Every couple of hits you do on him, though, he'll drop an orb. He'll then try to grab that orb, but you want to grab it first because the boss ends the moment you grab the 6th and final orb. Attack-wise, he can jump all over the place, throwing shurikens, doing forward stabs, charge stabs across the ground, but his easily most annoying attacks are when he glows the color of an orb he might use. Namely, he'll tend to use yellow, blue, and red. Yellow is 3 or 4 spin slashes along the floor from one edge of the screen to the other. Blue is a bit of a weird attack, I think he's going to use it in a moment, where he summons an ice bird in the background, and the ice bird will then drop feathers on the stage that hover from left to right about 3 or 4 times. You need to jump over that in a specific rhythm in order to not get hit. I think the rough rhythm, here's the attack here, by the way, is you jump over the first one, but then it's like jump, 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 jump. Like so. You do this 4 or 5 times, and it's good. The final attack is a fire dragon attack where he'll slash fire towards the edges of the screen, and I think it spawns from whichever side you're farthest from. A fire dragon will move up and down across the screen from the left or right side to the opposite side of the screen. There are 2 ways to avoid this. Either go to the side it's moving towards and then do a running double jump over it, or realize what side it's coming from by hovering from towards one side as it is, and then running directly under it as it moves towards you. I should note, though, upon beating the final boss, we're gonna get a unique animation to signify us winning. Here's the fire dragon attack, by the way. And when that happens, that is a solid 10 to 15 seconds of flashing lights like you wouldn't believe. If you're photosensitive via epilepsy or any other type of it, I'd suggest looking away from the screen until you hear me talk again after the final blow is dealt to the final boss, because it's bad enough to make me at least go, oh, Jesus. This final boss isn't inherently hard. In fact, I kind of appreciate that in some way you actually have the exact same amount of health points that he does. But it's annoying enough that it can cause problems, especially after that hellishness of a stage we just went through. Oh yeah, the fire dragon also goes across the screen like 2 or 3 times per use. Forgot to mention that little part of it. That's pretty important. Seizure warning, by the way, again. Kazuma's falling down animation there had a lot more frames than most other animations in the game. I don't know why. That just really sticks out to me. Either way, that's game.
あや、もう時間がない。立てるか。兄さんも。
ここはもう1分ともたん。逃げられやせんさ。だがまだ助かる道がないわけではない。翔、お前の技は見事だった。
兄さん。兄さん。あや、大丈夫か。
もしカズマが守ってくれなかったら。
俺たちは跡形もなくなっていた。
And that's Shinobi Legions. By and large, an okay game, but there's 2 or 3 stages in there that just really drag down the experience. Be it the minecart stage and its tedious boss fight, that super annoying final stage, and me just not liking stage 7 much, and it's a personal thing. It's fine, but there are better Shinobi games to play. If I were to rank at least the classic Shinobi games, this would probably rank around 5th place. In order, Shinobi 1, Shinobi 3, Shadow Dancer Genesis, Shinobi Game Gear 2, Revenge of the Shinobi this. As well, in terms of what you can do, it's above most of those other ones. Those few stages really drag it down. With that said, it's definitely a unique game. I love the live-action cutscenes. There's a certain earnestness but cheesiness to them that I can't help but love, and that I wish we got more of those nowadays in this same rough kind of way. Because FMV games were such a unique atmosphere back in the 90s from what I can tell. Like, the X-Files game was like that, Night Trap speaks for itself, things of that nature. They were just almost in a whole different world of out-there-ness that I can't help but adore. I hope we get more games like that soon, and I wouldn't mind seeing more Shinobi games in this kind of style again. Mind you, the last Shinobi game that was made, I think, was the 3DS game, and that was relatively early 3DS, so I think, by and large, it's just not somewhere the developers want to put focus. As for classic Shinobi, though, I'd say, by and large, it did end on a good note. Next time we'd see the series again was the PS2 action game, and that's fine. But with that, I'm going to need to end this little marathon off here. Thank you guys for watching. Have a great night. Take care. And I'll see you guys next time. Next LP, rather. Whatever that may be. I've only been doing that outro for how many years now? How am I still screwing it up? See you guys then.